Hi everybody, Sai here. I'm one of the team that's organising Halton Rocks 2020. There's going to be quite a lot of Halton Rocks content coming your way over the coming days and weeks as we start to reveal the lineup. And we're going to let you know which artists and which bands you can see on the night. Really exciting lineup, really strong. Looking forward to sharing it with you guys. Thank you for watching this video to everybody who's watching it. Just by watching this video, you're taking an interest in what we do and supporting us. Everyone who's following our event page on Facebook and the various social media that we're doing, thank you. So let's get on with it. We've got an interview for each act. I got together with the team before we did this because we knew we'd need like a little introduction segment before each one, and the team said to me, look, we've got a little bit of budget. Lockdown measures are eased a touch now. We can drive to places if you want to film on location. What do you want to do? And it's been a long-standing ambition of mine to introduce musicians from in front of a baby gate. So that's a little box ticked for me. So we're on location at the baby gate, and let's have, without any further ado, the next act to appear at Halton Rocks 2020.
Junior Davis, Junior, thank you very much for joining us to talk Halton Rocks, and thank you very much for saying yes to Halton Rocks.
No worries, Si, no worries at all.
You're Junior, can I ask you what the atmosphere is like where you are? Because I don't know if it's affected your voice a little bit.
Well, Si, I'm on the top of a mountain.
Aye, it makes sense. No, it makes sense. The high altitude.
Yeah. As you can see with the flag behind me.
Yeah.
I don't even know which country I'm in.
No.
Should be a lockdown.
I suppose it all looks the same up there, doesn't it, Junior? You can just see snow and tars and things.
You know, I'll be all in to please.
You certainly do. And, you know, Junior, it's not just your voice that it's affected. Your hair's, from the last time I met you, you know, your hair's looking amazing. Is that the climate up there in the mountains?
It is, and, you know, we're in lockdown in a cabin. There's no hairdressers about.
That's really interesting, Junior. Tell us more about this cabin. Was the cabin just there when you went to the mountains, or have you built it by hand?
It was there.
that was a really insightful answer.
Don't want to give anything away, Si.
No, I suppose. Yeah, you don't want to reveal your location, do you? Otherwise, you'll have the hordes and the masses climbing the mountains.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's funny how it's affected your voice. It's a bit like interviewing a really funky version of Orville the Duck.
Well, who knows? You know, it's a long time since I've spoken like a true human being.
How long have you had that voice, Junior?
Oh, Si. Ever since I went out on my own and I got kidnapped by the aliens.
Well, you know, Junior, I came to this interview with a bunch of questions I'd like to ask. I've not touched any of them yet because this is all so interesting. Tell me about the aliens.
Well, Si, when you're just walking along the street on your own and something comes out of nowhere, just like E.T., and just put you on a bike and whisk you away, what can you do?
No, I can imagine. I'm just going to stop you there, Junior. I've had a tweet come in just while you were answering that question, and it's from a
what's a tweet?
Yeah,
there's no tweets. I don't know anything about tweet. What's a tweet? Birds tweet.
Birds do tweet, yeah, but this is more like a human tweet. Something someone's written on the internet when you were telling your story about being stopped with, you know, you went on the bike with ET, and this member of the public says, please ask Junior, was it a BMX or a mountain bike? Because I recently lost a bike.
Oh, it a BMX or a mountain bike?
Yeah.
It wasn't that sort of a bike. I can assure you.
You know, if it's anything like the movie E.T., I think it was a chopper. Were you riding a big chopper?
It was a chopper,
Yeah.
and it was a massive chopper.
Yeah. Was
I
it a
could,
lot?
that's why I'm talking like this, Si.
Was it a lot of fun to ride?
Oh, Si. I'm getting chills thinking about it.
I bet you are. So, is your voice likely to remain in that falsetto for the entire interview? Because that could be quite taxing on you, couldn't it?
It's just come back.
Oh,
It's just come back.
Junior, you're back in the room.
Back in the game.
Yeah, you were never out of the game. Now, of course, we all know you, Junior, from your time on the music scene over, I won't say how many years, and over very many incarnations. But of course, this year for Halton Rocks, you're going to be appearing as an act called Le Verge. What can you tell us about Le Verge?
Well, Le Verge, I met Debbie. I went to a 40th, and I met Debbie at the 40th. And what I didn't know her at all. And she was singing, and I heard a voice, and I asked my mate I was with Darren, who's Darren Darnell, who was in Darnell. We've been cousin George Dan and other different names over the nearly 30 years we've known each other. And he said, I asked him who that was, and he said, oh, that's Debbie. So I just went over to her and I said, look, Debbie, my name's Junior. I play a bit of guitar, sing a bit, but you've got a cracking voice. Do you fancy having a jam? And that was it. And we just got together and started jamming and started gigging and doing weddings and stuff and all kinds of gigs, you know. So yeah, that's how we started. And she's got a cracking voice, Debbie. Absolutely brilliant. She can belt any song out. Funny enough, we were doing a thing tonight on Zoom, but it didn't work because there's a bit of a delay. We was trying to do something live, but we couldn't do it.
Oh, that's disappointing, but I'm really looking forward to hearing your act with Debbie at Halton Rocks. I've not heard it yet, and I'll apologise to you. I mispronounced it there. I said Le Verge, but it's Le Verge, isn't it? So sorry about that.
Yeah, Le Verge, yeah. Basically, we got the name from, I'm a Leo, and she's a Virgo. So we just put it together, make it sound French. Le Verge, you know.
Yeah, it's exotic.
Yeah, that's it. It sounds interesting.
Yeah, so you're bringing a taste of something exotic to Halton Rocks. The last time we had anything exotic at Halton Rocks was when I brought a Bounty Bar.
Oh, brilliant.
It's really exotic. Now, like I say, you've been in many incarnations over the years, Junior, some of which have been at Halton Rocks and Wrecked. I remember you with, you've played for us with JD and the Rocks, you've played with us with Dave McGee, all of these things. So people see you in lots of different ways, but I mean, you've been going a heck of a long time on this thing. What's your story? I mean, how did it all start for you in Halton being a musician? How far back do we trace this? What's the evolution?
I started playing guitar when I was like 21, so I was old to guitar. And then I met Steve Dooland. I don't know if you know Steve Dooland is, and then you know Liam Gallagher, who plays drums and stuff and plays guitar in my band now. Well, I met his dad and his uncle back in the early 80s, and we started a band well before Liam was born. And we got involved in the local music scene. And then when I think it was the Bradford disaster happened, Frank Frailer organized a gig back in the 80s. And we played at a gig, I can't remember what year it was, probably, I don't know if it was 84, 85 or 86, along there somewhere. And we played at the Grangeway Centre to raise cash for the Bradford disaster and stuff like that. So, and then it just snowballed from there. Me playing music and in a couple of bands that didn't do it, just jamming with different people, you know, and being involved in that. And then had a bit of time off because, you know, kids were growing up and stuff like that. And then got back strongly into it again back in when someone asked me to play Wrecked the first time I started. And then it was Wrecked and Western Breeze started around the same time, I think. So I've been involved, and then I met Greg, and then I met Greg Oldfield, and then I was playing at the Snig, Roy Jones organising stuff at the Snig and the Vic. You know, and plus I went to college in Widnes as well. I went to Halton College. So, you know, with all the musicians around, it was just, you know, involved with Dave Pichilingi and all those kind of people, you know what I mean? It was just a mad time, loads of bands and loads of music going on. So I was involved in here and there, in bits of this and that, you know, but always doing something, you know.
Yeah, and it's an amazing story, yours, you know, and really nostalgic to where some of those venues you refer to and some of those the people.
Oh, they were great.
Good
Like
time.
the snake, look at the snake, still going.
Yeah. Like you say, I was talking to somebody earlier today about gig at the Vic and all of those things that we've lost now. But I mean, you're immersed in this thing, this music scene of ours. You absolutely love it, don't you?
I absolutely love it. You know, I'll tell you a story. Back in the day, back in the 80s, I met the Gleave twins when they used to be Richard Joy. You know, that's way back. You know what I mean? In the 80s. And we all went to a music conference with Tony Wilson. God rest his soul. Tony Wilson was the guest speaking to us in the hotel at the old registry office in a little hall there, and the boys and that's when I met them first. You know, so I've known the Gleaves for like 30 odd years. You know, and they've been on the scene as probably longer than me, you know what I mean? They've been going for like since they were babies, probably, you know what I mean? They've been going for youngs. And yeah, I met them there. And I was really impressed with them, you know. So all that through meeting them, you know, and they were bringing the ska stuff and the reggae stuff that they've been doing all these years, and they've kept solid to their core beliefs and what they do, you know what I mean? And it's been brilliant. So the amount of people in the music scene in Halton that I've met, you know, the Spike Island gigs back in the day, when you have the big marquee and all the stuff that used to go on there, you know.
And yeah, the Gleavy brothers. I don't know them that well. I've only met them like a handful of times. But by Jove, I love their music. And like you say, they've always stayed true to what they do. And I mean, those songs are just absolute standout classics. I don't care about how famous any band is. You take any band anywhere, and their songs measure up to anybody.
Oh, they're absolutely brilliant. I mean, I saw them. I got them. I mean, it's just a shame because I'm always, as they're always busy. I've been always busy doing stuff, and I never get to gigs to see. I'm always playing there, but I got to see them at the last gig at the Hammer, you know. And that night, that, you know, well, that was one hell of a night. That was, you know, seeing them live there, you know.
Yeah, I was there. I was there for that as well, and that was an amazing night.
It was superb. I came back. I played that day, and I went home, and I came back because I thought I haven't seen them. I had to come home, have a little break, and then go back, you know, because I've been out all day, you know. And then I came back over to see them, you know. And it was worth it. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, they were absolutely unbelievable. It was a great set and a great night.
The funny thing about talking about the gigs at the Snig and the Vic, either last year or the year before, I went to Manchester to play a gig in a place called the Art of Tea in Stockport, I think it was. And I'm in this place, only a little room, and a guy walks in, and I looked at him and thought, I know that face. Well, like you do, you see people, and you know, you're not like, you know what I mean? I know he's got a guitar. I think I know him because he's got a guitar. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm looking at him, and I played my set, and when I played my set, I came off, and he went, "A nice one, mate." I said, "Nice one, mate." I said, "What's your name?" He goes, "Kirk." I went, "Kirk?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, Kirk McElhinney. He goes, "Yeah." I went, "No way." I said, "It's Junior." He goes, he looked at me, he said, "Oh, yeah." But Kirk McElhinney, and it's like 20, I've not seen him for probably about 15, 20 years, you know. And we just sat there talking, and it was like reconnecting with someone I hadn't seen for ages, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the guy, it was absolutely, he was phenomenal back then, and he's just absolutely brilliant. It was great seeing someone that I hadn't seen for so long.
Yeah, I know. This is why I put that to you. You know how much you love it, and you do love it. And it's poignant that you mentioned there about how pleasant it is to see people who you've not seen in a long time, because that's something that's really resonant at the moment. I think I was informed recently we're in week 9. I think the start of week 9 now is week.
Yeah.
Week 9 of the lockdown, and when I'm speaking to people at the moment who's going to be playing at Halton Rocks, I'm interested to know how people relate to the lockdown. Not so much how it affects you personally, because I don't particularly want to ask people to have to discuss the personal business, but from an artistic point of view, how do you relate to all this?
I am, you know what, as for me, it's become like a source of stuff for me to write songs. I've written a lot of songs. I've written probably about 10 songs, I think, in lockdown. They mightn't be any good, you know what I mean? But I've written them. You know what I mean? And I'm always, a topic is in lockdown. There's loads of stuff that cropped up. So I've written songs. I've written a song called, I might give the people, I might be saying that people know what my songs are called. But I've written songs about what's been happening in lockdown, stuff that people say, and I thought, oh, that's a title for a song. So I get it on the laptop and I start writing, put some chords to get it on and write. So it's been that for me, because I think as a songwriter, as a musician, not being able to go out and play, that's one of the hardest things, you know, and that's how I earn my money. I go out and play to earn money, and at the minute I can't. So it's luckily for us as musicians, for the Facebook and the internet, that's really helped, because you can connect with people all over the world and play without having to go out of the house. So that's probably, I don't know if it's the right word, but it's the saving grace of being in lockdown, but we can still reach people. You know, you can imagine if we were in lockdown 30 years ago with no mobile phone, no laptops, that would have been hell. I think the mental health rate would have shot. I mean, it's shot up now, but it would have been even triple, I think, if people couldn't, you know, even see the loved ones or get in touch with them, or, you know, it would have been crazy. So it's been, as much as it's painful, being able to connect on Facebook with the outside world has helped.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I mean, sometimes you think technology can be the scourge of humanity, but sometimes you think, thank heavens for technology. And the other thing you mentioned there, which of course is completely true, that it's twofold for you, because not only do you love performing and being a part of this, but it's your livelihood as well, and you're a working musician. And yet, whenever we do Halton Rocks and whenever we do Rex, where nobody earns any money and everybody's giving up the time for free, you never hesitate to say yes. So for anybody watching this, why is that, and why is Halton Rocks important?
You know, aside for me, right, personally, I've lived in Halton for most of my life, right? I've played music in Halton, and for me, any time I can play anything for anything in Halton that's related to Halton, I'm there. I want to play. I want to be part of it. It's doing stuff like this. It's not for me. It's not about money, one iota for me. I want to be involved and play in these kinds of things. I don't want to miss out. It sounds like I'm greedy, but it's not that. I want to be there. I want someone to, like, I'm made up that you asked me to play. You know what I mean? And I won't lie. If I don't get asked to play, I get disappointed, because I'm thinking I'm sat at home and I could be there playing or whatever. So I want to play. It's just for me, playing and being on stage and seeing my mates and friends that get together and do stuff. It's second to none. Yeah. It's second to none for me, man. And I just want everything that I could play. That's to do with Halton, for stuff like that. I want to do it. I want to play. Simple as that.
Good on you, Junior. And those are really good words. And thank you for those words. And thank you for doing it. We're coming a little bit to the end now. And we've talked about your history with music. And we've talked about your current act. And we've talked about the current situation and some serious stuff. So we were being a bit silly at the start. So let's be a bit silly at the end. So you're up there in heaven. Heaven knows where this mountain is that you've invented with this shed that you found, but you're up there, and let's say, heaven forbid, but lockdown was to carry on, and we have to do another 12 weeks, but you're allowed to pick one person from the local music scene to spend your lockdown with. Who would it be and why?
Jeez, that is, wow. My God.
Well, you can't have him.
That's a question.
Sorry, June, you can have him because he's omnipresent.
you know who's gonna have to be.
Go on.
And this is no disrespect to any other musician in Halton, right? But it's gonna have to be Greg Oldfield. For simple reason. As a musician, as a person, as a musician, I've known Greg for a long time, right? And he's just one of them fellas that when you see him and you listen to him play, you feel inspired because he makes it look so easy, and his lyrics are second to none. It's one of them. So if I got to spend time, I want to spend some time with someone like him because when he's playing and writing and doing stuff, that'll inspire me to do stuff because I know he's inspired a lot of musicians in London. I know that for a fact.
You're absolutely right. He inspires people, and he's inspired me more than I can tell you, Greg Oldfield. I mean, I try not to talk to him about it because I feel like I'll embarrass him if I talk to him. He's
and the thing about this society, he's so humble. That's the thing about it, you know. He's so humble, you know. He's you couldn't meet a nicer bloke. You know what I mean? It's just a top fella. So that I'd have to say. He'd be gutted he'd be spending time with me, like.
Hey, maybe not, but you're right. Like you really couldn't meet a nicer bloke. But I'll tell you what's interesting as well is I did one of these pre-recorded interviews for Halton Rocks with another of our acts this afternoon. Now I know for a fact that the two of you haven't spoken today.
Yeah.
You probably don't know the guy, but when I asked him the same question I asked you, he said Greg Oldfield, and that's interesting that that's two people I've asked in one day, both with the same answer, and I know you've not collaborated. And
exactly.
And I can only.
That's the thing. That is how high in esteem Greg is felt in Halton music scene. But I don't think Greg even knows that. And I tell you, because when we did that gig at when we did that gig at Authentic Takeover a few weeks with Vinny Peculiar, and Vinny Peculiar came in, I think he was in awe of Greg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, so it's like Greg. It's just one of them guys. You know, you can't help but love the guy. Simple as that. You can't help it.
I think you're right, Junior. I resist the urge, but I sometimes feel inclined to say to Greg, "Listen, do you know what people think of you?" Because I don't think he does. But what I said earlier to somebody today was, if you were on Desert Island Discs and there was one fella off the scene, you could just play the guitar and sing his songs. It'd be Greg. So great. It's a great answer, Junior. And we're coming to the end of our time, but before we do, we've hit a shed load of subjects. Before we go, is there anything else you'd like to say to our audience watching this, whether it's about you, your past music, your current music, Halton Rocks, life in general, anything else you'd like to say to our supporters out there?
Just make sure and turn up on Halton Rocks on October the 10th. Am I right?
October the 10th.
Oh, bang on there. Just make sure and turn up and support a great cause. You know, and basically that's it. Just turn up and support a great cause. Be there in your droves. It's all for a good cause. And don't forget, Si's putting this on for all of us. So the least people can do is turn up and enjoy themselves and support local music, because that's where it's got to survive locally. It's got to survive.
Brilliant. Good on you, Junior. Thank you very much for that, mate. Cheers for speaking to us.
No worries, Si. No worries. Absolutely brilliant. Loved it. And now I'll get back into my cabin.
Okay. Goodbye, Orville.
And I'll fly away.
I think you've been flying most of the day, my friend.